Ding, ding. What is up, boxing world? This is Boxing Vibez TV, and we coming right back at you, giving you the best boxing analysis on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, you name it.
All that shit,
you, man. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got, the crew. We got the crew in the building. We got JD.
You already know it's 8-1 Trey all day.
And to keep it consistent, we got crew in the building. We got Q in the building.
What's going on, good people?
We got yours truly, J Box, the moderator of this madness, and screwing up already as soon as we start. So let's get right into it, man. JD, give us the pod quote of the day, and don't crew it up like me.
All right, man. So we're gonna get into the pod quote of the day, and this one is for the upcoming fight that I'm sure all of us will be watching on Saturday between Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. And this is in relation to a lot of the media reports where they're talking about how they're cool and they've been friends, and they got a little bit of history. I think everybody kind of knows they've known each other before this fight got made. So this is a quote from young Shakur. And he says, I don't know Jamel. I don't know too much about him. I respect his team. I respect what his team's done for him, but I don't know Jamel. He said he's an associate, so I don't know him. It ain't like we best friends. And that is Shakur Stevenson talking about
see me in the streets, remember you don't know me.
Hey, I say no new friends. Hey, Shakur say no new friends.
You gotta love boxing promotion.
Drake style.
You gotta love the promotion of the sport of boxing, man. They be in the same camp. This is the same Shakur Stevenson said, I know his whole camp. He's probably on Wednesdays, he's in the pool. On Mondays, he doing road work. Yeah, you gotta love
I don't know. I don't know him though.
But I get it. You gotta get in the fight mode, man. I respect that. You got two friends or acquaintances that facing off, just like November 20th. We got Porter and Bud. But before we get into all that, man, JD, tell the people what to do.
And you already know, if you're down with the vibes, hit the notification bell and subscribe.
Bing. All right, guys. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, man. So we had a upset alert. Upset alert. Mikey Garcia upset.
Big time.
I'm just handing it off. Go ahead, JD.
Hey, this was a upset that I don't think a lot of people saw coming. Without a doubt, I think a lot of boxing observers, fans, including Mikey Garcia himself, thought that this was just going to be a tune-up fight. He's been out of the ring for close to 2 years, been pretty inactive, because wasn't his last fight the Spence fight, or did he fight somebody after Spence?
No,
I think he beat Jesse Vargas.
I thought that's right. Jesse Vargas.
That's right. So
February 2020.
Right. So essentially, he has Vargas and Spence as his last two fights in a nice little stretch of time. I think even during the DAZN telecast, they were talking about how over the past 5 years, Mikey might be at only maybe like 5 or 6 opponents over the last 4 or 5 year span. So he hasn't really been the most active fighter. So naturally, I think Mikey thought this was gonna, get him back in the flow. And what do you know? He steps into the ring against an unknown Spaniard, who gives him a boxing lesson and made him look like, he really was just too slow.
Regular.
Yeah, he made him look
extremely
real regular degular. So I can't lie. I was surprised by what I witnessed. I was surprised to even hear, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this particular fight, because I personally thought Mikey was gonna scrub him up and get the easy dub. So I didn't even watch the fight live. But when I saw the group text from Q saying Mikey lost, I was like, oh no. Let me go back and watch this DAZN replay. And shout out to DAZN, they got the instant replay. Shout out to the instant replay of DAZN. We can't get that with ESPN Plus and all them other channels. But I went back and watched it, and I can't lie, man, dude can straight up box. Sandor Martin, he's absolutely a boxing specialist, and I see him giving a lot of people issues at 140. So I mean, it was surprising to me, man. What an upset. And I'm not quite sure that if they do it again, that Mikey will beat him because dude is so good of a boxer. So, I mean, the good thing for us as fans is boxing is alive because now we have another random name that's a real live dog at 140. So it's another fighter for us to talk about and be excited to see in the ring.
What you got on the queue?
Yeah, man. I feel like, just like JD say, man, like if they did it again, because I really feel like this dude is a very bad style matchup. Mikey had fought southpaws, but he hasn't fought southpaws with the movement that this. I haven't seen him fight a slick southpaw with the foot speed and the movement because he couldn't get my man on the ropes too much. He got him on the ropes a little bit, but my man would just outwit him and move around him. And I mean, he's very athletic. He was quick on his feet, and he outworked Mikey. And like I say, you know, Mikey is a very good boxer. He do everything pretty good, but I mean, he don't have a lot of special effects. You know what I'm saying? And my man, he exploited Mikey's weaknesses. And I just feel like Mikey, the inactivity played a role also. I looked at him like, damn, he look a little pudgy. You know, I feel like
I wasn't the only one in the best
shape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my man just outworked him and outlanded him. And I mean, you got to the spots better. And it's not even a rematch clause. You know what I'm saying? But this wasn't a title fight. And this is another thing. It was only a 10-rounder. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Mikey ain't the fastest starter. I mean, you know, he don't get out there and just jump on your head right off. And that could be, you know, he's not used to fighting non-title fights, you know. So all of those things could have played a part, but it's not a gimme. You know, I'm pretty sure they'll do a rematch because, you know, Mikey's a big name, and I don't see why the guy wouldn't fight Mikey again.
And it'd be even bigger. The second one would be
even bigger. You know, everybody want to see,
everybody
want to see you get your chance at redemption. But I think back to Eddie Hearns, I was watching Eddie Hearns talk before the fight a couple of days, and he was just saying that you know, if we're gonna give anybody a shot, we're gonna give one of our guys a shot. We might have given one of our, and so I'm like, ugh. Did Eddie Hearns know that this could have, you know, I don't know. Right. It could have been something like that, you know. You never know. You don't trust nobody in this game. Boxing.
Mikey definitely didn't get a tune-up fighter.
Boy, I mean,
not at all.
Somebody didn't do their homework.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but exactly in the matchmaking process.
It's definitely. I mean, but I think it's good for boxing. What I was scared of the whole time, I was holding my breath to see what the judge is gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because see me, when boxing is when the fight's made and they sort of unpredictable on the outcome, not just what you see, you know what I'm saying? Not just I like the not know what's gonna happen, you know, and then I want to see the judges get it right, and you know everything within this, you know, and I think Mike could come back and you know and do better at least, you know, but stylistically I don't really know unless my man take the Andy Ruiz route, you know what I'm saying, or the Buster Douglas route. But if he's hungry and he's steady, you know, he want to keep what he just got, you know, it'll be tough. I don't know if Mikey even could beat this guy a second time.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the guy was normally 147 pounder, so they met.
They fought at 140, I think, right?
No, it was a catch weight. I think
it was a catch weight at 144.
One of them was like 144. They were around 144.
Yeah, the catch weight was on 144. Mikey weighed in, I think, at 143. So it kind of speaks to maybe he was a little bit out of shape. You know, maybe you know maybe that had something to do with it. I mean, of course, with the ring rust. But here's the thing about ring rust, right? And this happens to fighters as they age. This happens to fighters, you know, with the long layoff. You know, each round is a question, right? I think this has been an analogy in boxing used a lot of time on all sports. Every opponent's asking you a question, right? And the opponents that are there in the 10th, the 11th, the 12th round still asking you questions, right? Are you still fast? Can you still take my punch? Are you still there? When you have a layoff or when you get older, man, the answers on that test get harder to find. You know what I'm saying? They get a little bit harder. You know, there's a gear that you're probably used to going to that you think you can. Oh, I got another. Oh, wait a minute. ring rust, age, attrition. And when somebody's in your face asking you those tough questions, like Mikey was getting asked, like he was basically like, I know what you got. Do you have anything else? Can you stop me from doing this? And Mikey didn't have an answer. Like JD said, he made him look like a basic fighter. And I think that had to do with a lot with Mikey's preparation, his ring rust. And, you know, I always like to give A-side fighters that lose they shit, whether it's a belt or a reputation, or their status as one of the top guys. I always like to give them benefit of the doubt. They can retool and get back. Rematch might play out different. You know, he might, hey, you can't come in there and just hunt this guy down. You took him lightly. You're gonna have to show him angles. You're gonna have to be just as good as you thought you had to be for Errol Spence. You're gonna have to train and prepare like that. And so win, lose, or draw, if he comes back out and he gives a greater performance and he loses again, the guy's just got another, 140, 147 pounder that's out there in the atmosphere that's ready to give anybody a good challenge. So great fight. Surprised just as both of you were. I did the same thing, JD. I was like, oh, I'll catch it. Right. And then Mikey lost. I'm like, what?
Right.
So
and I'll say this too, to your point, Q, I was happy that the judges got it right for Sandor Martin, because when you listen to Mikey's post-fight interview, this was one of those fights where Mikey did have the posture of where he was trying to push things. But what Mikey missed was that Sandor Martin was still hitting him with the cleaner, more effective punches all night long. So, because in the post-fight interview, they asked Mikey, what did he think about the fight? And he's talking about, I thought I won because, I was pushing the action. He was the one using a lot of lateral movement, looking like he didn't really want to engage in the fight. And I'm like, no, he outboxed you, but he was popping you on the way out. Right. It's one thing if you're pressing the action and moving forward, but it's another thing if you are getting popped in your chin on the way out every time as he's spinning out and moving around the ring. So I'm actually glad that the boxing judges got it right as far as who was landing the more effective, crisper punches and didn't simply go off of Mikey Garcia looking like he was the stalker because he was plotting around the whole fight. So kudos to the judges in that regard, especially since we're going to slam the judges when they get these outlandish cards. Right, I'm going to salute those judges who for getting that right last Saturday night.
Most definitely. Hey, Sierra La Puerta is Spanish for closing the door, like I talk about in the 12th round. You know what I'm saying? You have the guy, the more popular guy that you've pretty much been beating the whole fight. And then the 12th round, they come out and try to flurry and look good and press the action. And a lot of times, the lasting memory for the judges, it'll pay heavy dividends, and you got to really beat the champ to beat the champ. He slammed the door, and the 12th round, the 10th round, the 10th round, championship fight. He handled that business. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see from fighters that's in a fight that you put all this work in. I want to see what you're going to do in the 12th round. Are you going to let the champ steal it? Or are you going to go ahead and press the action and go all out? And that's what he did. Sierra La Puerta. I learned some Spanish.
Sierra La Puerta. Sierra La Puerta.
I had to wake up and Google this.
hey, that's that Q Rosetta Stone. Q Rosetta
Stone.
And see, I hope Mr. Gary Russell Jr. is taking notes. I hope one time that man Keith Thurman is taking
Everybody
notes.
That's been chilling.
Ring rust is a thing.
Gary Russell been out there killing deals and scalping them and cleaning them, and
I want you real bad, Slim.
We saw it with Manny Pacquiao. Such a long layoff in age.
No doubt.
Right. So there is something. Boxing is a perishable skill. You can't wake up and I'm gonna give a funny ass story. You don't know this, but JD witnessed this. So man, all my life, I could grab rim, I could dunk, I couldn't dunk all the time, but keep me on the right hops, right day, I can, get the ball in there, So we was in the basketball gym. What was it, about a year or two ago before the pandemic? Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and grab rim. Man, I barely touched the damn net. I was like, what? I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Age, brother. Age.
Yeah. And so
all the time.
I think that
pack on some LBs over them years, my boy.
Huh?
Some LBs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was in great shape, but you don't. Hey, I can be a gym rat. I can feel like I'm in great shape, but your athletic performance and your reaction time and your spring and your step, man, it's naturally gonna leave you. So these fighters that are taking these breaks and collecting ring rust instead of collecting belts, man, you're forewarned. Mikey Garcia is a prime example of the inaction and inactivity and what that turns out to be. So with that being said,